We welcome you back to the Stabler Arena here on the Lehigh University campus. Shel Siegel and Larry Sheridan bringing you the action now at 142. Jim Sconce for Oklahoma, a freshman from Bethany, Oklahoma, 4-9. His opponent, Jim Frick, 8-2 for Lehigh. Senior from Columbia, New Jersey. Frick is Lehigh's winningest wrestler this season, along with Matt Ruppel, who has also won 8. And once again, Larry Sheridan. Larry?
Okay. No, not too much background on Sconce. He's thrown in at the last minute. Joe Reynolds was the heir apparent, picking up from Nick Neville, who was last year's All-American at this weight class. But Reynolds, unfortunately, was academically ineligible as of this trip, and therefore the freshman is in there doing his thing. And Frick picks up a quick 2-point takedown.
Skate.
2-1 on the escape to Sconce.
Oklahoma leading. We're at 142.
So here you see the veteran wrestler, Frick, a senior, against Sconce, who is a freshman. Sconce is the only freshman in the Oklahoma starting lineup today.
Stay on, stay on. Stay in.
Trying to drag his man back in. Now he does get him in. Now the task remains to bring him down.
Easy, stay in.
And nice try, Jim, but not enough, Matt. You let go.
You okay, son? You all right?
Frick, runner-up last year at the Easterns, in on that single. Lifts his opponent. Trying to get the takedown so far. Gets behind him, but he hasn't brought him to the mat and gained control. But now has.
Center.
Just thinking of that last bout there at 34. Thinking of Penn State's two grapplers, at Jim Martin at 126 and Kenny Chertow at 34. I'd say it's going to be a real test
get on.
For T.J. Sewell going up against Kenny Chertow.
Frick in control in this bout with 1:20 to go in the first period, leading 4-1. Oklahoma leading Lehigh 6-3 at the moment after the first 3. Interesting observation, Larry, you did make on Coach Stan Abel. That's the first time in my recollection in a dual meet that I've seen a coach separate himself from the team by 8 to 10 feet.
He
sitting right behind our camera.
If he has anything to say as wrestlers, he passes it to Gomez, who passes it to the wrestler.
Keep moving. Work the score.
I'm surprised he's seated.
Well, he certainly has a better view of the mat. I mean, he's closer to the mat than he would be sitting on the bench.
He's up.
Although it is interesting, as you look at the new configuration, the Lehigh bench is about 10 feet closer to the mat than the visitors' bench, just simply the way they are set up. The visitors' bench has dropped back somewhat.
I think they might have done that, but I like the idea that we could never see the wrestlers when we're seated here, and all you could see is their backs, and now the fans can sit and, pick out who's who and what's what, and I think it just adds to the entire event. 15 seconds, 4-1 lead for Frick as this first period concludes.
Stay on.
He now has a 1.5-minute time advantage. Riding time, rather.
And the period concludes. Jim Frick is well in control, as we see one of the wrestling fans who's come here chomping on his raisins. Second period, 6-3 lead for Jim Frick, and there you see Stan Abel sitting down away from the bench.
4-1.
That chair that Stan's sitting in is located about 10 feet from the Oklahoma bench up toward the mat.
Still.
I said earlier, Stan won the national title when he represented OU at 1959, 1960.
Frick gives away the escape point, making it 4-2.
Stay in, stay in. Out.
And out they go.
Jimmy Sconce, freshman. Coming up next, a pretty tough wrestler, Junior Taylor and Kenny Fisher. And then they've got a real good horse at 77. And they've got a big finish at heavyweight. So if you're looking ahead, wonder who's going to win what, I think you're going to have to stick around and see what happens in the last 3-4 weight classes. There's a nice pick on the ankle.
Stay on that.
Crosses a cross ankle pick.
Well, when you look ahead, Larry, at those kinds of things that can happen to you as you go up, you really see the importance
going,
of
guys.
maybe
Keep going.
trying to exact a fall in a match like this, where
Yeah.
you get a veteran like Jim Frick against a less experienced freshman.
Watch the pick of the ankle. It reaches across. There it goes. Goes, come here, give me that little thing. And the pressure on the top of the head and the chin. So he's got, he tried to get the chin, but he's got the back of the neck. Just
Okay.
working one against the other.
Skate.
6'3", Sconce is the losingest wrestler on the Oklahoma team. He's lost 9 this season.
And of course, this should be a chance for Lehigh. Abel felt Lehigh's best chances when he looked at it. He said we're 26-42. He knew that Clavel he heard of. He knew he was pretty good, and his wrestler was fair. And he knew Sconce, a freshman, against the experienced Frick. But he said the rest of them, I'm not too sure. He says you're tough. That Togus is a tough horse at 67. But he said I got some real. He said I got a good heavyweight. 6-3 the score. Lehigh's Frick leading. 25 seconds remaining in the second period.
A minute and 51 in riding time at the moment, as you see Stan Abel. Advantage to Jim Frick.
One of the biggest surprises to Oklahoma was the sudden departure of two of their great wrestlers. Frick
Frick's
countered.
got himself in a jam here, trying to turn around.
I don't think it'll end up with anything, but for a moment he lost. He almost put
Could have been a
himself-
disaster.
I think that even caused Coach Turner to squirm.
Choice, son. Top, bottom, or standing.
Well, a situation like that, the moment the referee would award
You're up,
2-point.
son.
There he is.
There's Peter Yazzo.
6-3.
National
third
champion.
period.
142 last year. He kind of progressively moved up, a third, a second, and a first.
Get on.
And if, as we've often mentioned, and as President Peter Likens mentioned, winning that third might have been the toughest of them all.
You do a
That
lot more
first
wrestling.
year.
You do a lot more wrestling.
Not only that, you do it coming from behind, because you
Yeah.
know you're starting right out and you're a loser. And it takes a lot of grit to go out to a national tournament expecting to win, lose the first one, and then come back to finish a third.
Frick turning in and then coming up and getting a reversal. Has a 5-point lead at 8-3. I'm going to say one of the real surprises that Stan Abel suffered from this year was the loss of two of his top All-Americans.
Now, Frick's got a lot of time here. He's got 1 minute and 20 seconds. He's got just about wrapped up in points, but he's going to try to work some additional premium points here if he can do it to give Lehigh perhaps a major decision. But Sconce is not cooperating. He manages to stay flat and spread out. With 1 minute to go, Togus is going to have to try something else.
Would you say that Frick was ensconced?
No, I wouldn't say that, Larry.
Okay, I didn't want you to. He's stalling on the
You
bottom.
would say that.
And Frick gives up an escape.
In the middle, in the middle.
I was saying, two of the guys that are All-Americans just left the campus and enrolled in other schools. They were having some academic problems at Oklahoma. Joe Melchiori, All-American wrestler.
Frick looking for the takedown, does not get it, now gets it. 10-4, but now Frick is still a point away, including riding time, from the major decision. He's going to have to make one more takedown, Larry.
As part of the Lehigh aggregation. Dr. Diorio is sitting there. He's
Half a minute, gentlemen. Be still, please. Get on.
Frick gives it away. Now He has 20 seconds for the takedown. If he can get the takedown, he can get the major decision. Sconce comes across the top. Frick trying to break out. Now gets 2, and if he can hold on, he'll have the major decision. And for the moment, at least, Lehigh will take the lead.
7 to 6. The Frick wins 13-5. Wins by 8. So that gives
Frick
14
wins by 8. Lehigh puts 14 points on the board. And so at the end of 4 bouts, Lehigh University out in front of the University of Oklahoma 7-6. Good victory for Jim Frick, winning his 9th of